Hi guys, it's Tamara coming back at you with another video. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to continue our conversation of toxic and unhealthy parents. And in this video, we're going to talk about parental alienation. And I think it's important that we focus on this because this is something that a lot of people go through when a divorce happens or separation. And I've noticed that most people don't know what to do about it. They can't identify it. And when they do identify it, they don't know what to do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So this video may be just a tad long. I'm going to try to make it exactly 8 to 9 minutes, but we might go over just a little bit. So let's just go ahead and jump right in, okay guys? So the benefits for you in this video today is that you're going to learn about 3 different types of parental alienation. I'm also going to mention some legal things that you could do to ensure that your kids or someone else's kids are not being manipulated and harmed in the process. So let's go ahead and just jump right on in, guys, and talk. Oops, I'm so sorry about that. That's my phone next to my camera. I'm sorry. But let's just go ahead and jump right in and focus on this. So I have my notes as always, just in case you see me looking up and down, up and down. Sometimes I need to because my memory is awful. So let's talk about what parental alienation is. So there's 3 different kinds of parental alienation, and we're going to cover that, okay? So the first is passive aggressive by the parent. That's the number 1 parental alienation technique, is passive aggressive behaviors. The other one is aggressive or intentional. And the final one is permissive and manipulative. All right, so we're going to focus on 3 of those categories. But first, I'm going to give you a broad definition of parental alienation is. All right, the whole idea of parental alienation is that one parent, whether that's the father or the mother, engages in a series of actions or a series of behaviors or a series of manipulative acts to control how that child views the other parent. You typically see this in divorce situations or really, really messy separations where there's children involved. The one parent will intentionally or passively engage in behaviors that causes the child to negatively view the other parent and begin to act out, most likely on that other parent, right? Because kids are so malleable, right? They change, they're flexible, they have different emotions, they have different thoughts, they have different feelings about things and different perceptions. And their worldview tends to be very, very limited based on their lack of sophisticated cognitive skills, right? Most kids are too young. In fact, the brain doesn't fully develop until the age of 26. So, you know, if you're talking about a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old, they really lack the sophisticated neurological skills that they need to make better decisions, right? To figure out, what is this mom doing to me, or what is this dad doing to me, or are they trying to get me to turn against this parent or that parent, right? So parental alienation really does involve manipulation of the kids in the middle of the messy divorce or messy separation or relationship. That manipulation may be intentional or it may be passive. All right, so let's start with the first one, which is passive aggressive actions by parents, okay? So if we have a parent who is emotionally and psychologically unstable, they may try to help the child understand certain things that are happening or that has happened in the relationship. And as a result of lacking maturity, as a result of lacking emotional stability and psychological stability, they unintentionally cause the kid or kids to negatively view that other parent. Okay, so an example of that would be, let's say that you're Bob, okay, and Bob is divorcing Tiffany, okay, and Tiffany has 4 kids with Bob. Kids spend time with Bob every weekend. The kids spend time with Tiffany mom every other day of the week. Now, let's say Tiffany and Bob get into an argument and the kids observe that. The kids may go to mom and say, well, why is dad so angry? And why is he snapping out? Like, dad never really acts like this, right? So let's say Tiffany, the mom, says to the children, well, your dad just has anger management issues. He can't control his anger. He can't control his reactions. And so he gets like that sometime. He really does get so angry. He really does get so... I need to move my phone because it's just beeping in the camera. I'm so sorry. But let's say the mom says, you know, he has anger management challenges, and this is the way he acts, and this is why I had to leave your father. Okay, that may be causing the children to negatively view that father as somebody who's dangerous, angry, explosive, raging, and has trouble managing his emotions. That can definitely cause the kids to not want to have anything to do with dad. All right, so that's passive aggressive parental alienation. Let's go to aggressive intentional parental alienation. That may include a parent coaching or influencing or trying to emotionally influence that child to feel a certain way about the other parent, right? That is a situation where the parent engaging in parental alienation may intentionally put thoughts and certain and influence certain emotions with the child. So the parent may put thoughts in the child's mind. The parent may try to influence how that child perceives things. The parent may intentionally say negative things about dad. Dad's an idiot. Dad's stupid. Dad's this. Dad's that. Or or ask questions that are misleading, right? Like, how do you feel about your dad doing A, B, and C? Or do you really feel safe when he does that, right? So all of those things is aggressive and intentional parental alienation, because it's most likely going to influence the children to go against the father, right? The other parent. The last one is permissive and manipulative. Permissive and manipulative. Basically what I mean by that is, the parent basically feels like, I don't care what you do, just, see dad the way you want to see dad. But their nonchalant permissive attitude inadvertently influences the kids to have a negative reaction to the father, right? Bob is going to get a negative reaction from those kids because of the permissive, manipulative, I don't really care attitude of the mother. All right, so those are the three categories of parental alienation. And of course, this topic can go on for videos. So we're going to come back to this topic again because I want to talk about what to do if this is something you're experiencing or something that you have experienced, or if this is just something you want to learn more about. So I will be talking more about this. Now, there are two different categories to parental alienation. One category is child-induced, right? The child begins to say things about the parent, begins to fear the parent, begins to have negative reactions and emotions to the parent, right? Begins to kind of hide from the parent and isolate. They start developing all kind of negative emotions towards that parent, and so therefore they don't go near them. They run away, they hide, they want nothing to do with that parent. The other category is parent-induced parental alienation, and that is basically when the parent indoctrinates the child to feel a certain way with the parent. Now, we can also put into parent-induced into this category two concepts: gaslighting and love bombing, right? I've mentioned that a lot on this channel, that parents who engage in love bombing may buy their child everything that they want, may buy the child lots and lots of stuff that he or she likes because they're trying to manipulate or love bomb, right? Fill that person up with so good feelings and so much endorphins and so many positive emotions that the child can't figure out what's really going on because they're too overwhelmed with positive emotions, right? It's a form of manipulation. So love bombing, that parent-induced parental alienation, that may include love bombing, where the parent just overdoes it with the child so that when they go back to dad, they're not going to want to know dad because everything is so wonderful with mom, right? The other one is gaslighting. So the child may come to the mom and say, like, I feel this way, I feel that way, I feel like you're manipulating me. That's typically going to be the reaction of an adolescent. Mom, I feel like you're manipulating me. I feel like you're just buying me everything to compensate. The mother may gaslight and say, I don't know what you're talking about. I love you. I'm just trying to give you what you want. I'm just trying to make our relationship positive. Like, what are you talking about? Like, is your dad influencing you to feel that way about me? Because I buy you things because I want to love you. I want to be, right? And so then there we go, right? So that's parent-induced alienation. Parent-induced alienation. Love bombing and gaslighting. They're both very bad tactics, but some very emotionally and psychologically disturbed parents utilize parent-induced alienation, gaslighting, and love bombing to keep everybody confused. Child-induced, once again, is the child begins to separate from the parent because they don't know how to perceive that parent. Okay, guys, this is a complicated topic, so we're going to come back to this. Thank you so much for being with me today, guys. I encourage you to give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. It really does help the channel. And it pushes the video up in the search results. So then that way other people will gain access to this video and benefit if you also benefited. I encourage you to hit the subscribe button. I think it's on this side. That way, when I post more videos on this topic, you will get them. We're going to have a 1.5 month long discussion about unhealthy and toxic parents. We're going to get to narcissistic parents. We're going to get to emotionally unstable parents. We're going to get to borderline personality parents. We're going to get to sociopathic parents. We're going to get to, adoption and foster care. And we have a lot to cover. So stay tuned. I usually post Mondays and Fridays, but there are times when you will get a bonus video on Wednesdays. It kind of helps like cement things and pull things together. It pulls that Monday and Friday video together really well. So stay tuned for that. If you hit the subscribe button, you will get those notifications. All right, guys, thanks so much. And I will see you really soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. And bye-bye. Bye.